What up, ladies and gentlemen? Still Broke Podcast. It's your boy MM in the building. You know I had to touch base on this LeBron Stephen A situation. Stephen A has been on podcasts. Everybody's had an opinion on it. Obviously, if you don't know, which you should by now, if you follow any kind of sports, LeBron approached Stephen A in a way that was, in my opinion, uncalled for, dumb, stupid, and basically tried to punk Stephen A. But it was about his son, and it was about Stephen A talking about his son, Bronny James, and mainly in the limelight of playing basketball and being NBA in the G League or whatever Stephen A said. Um, Stephen A has commented on Bronny James, LeBron James, Michael James, Donnie James, Lorenzo James, whatever James that there is that has been in the NBA. Stephen A has commented on that person, that guy, whoever James it may be. So for LeBron James to approach Stephen A to tell him not to talk about his son makes no damn sense whatsoever. And for all the guys who are trying to defend LeBron, trying to say, oh, well, my son and I defend my son and I do this, defending your son is one thing. And nobody would tell you as a man not to defend your son in a position in which he needs defense. But in this situation, Bronny James is a NBA/G League player. Stephen A is a commentator, a sports debater, a sports analyst. He's the guy who covers the NBA. So part of his job description is to talk about NBA players. And if your son is in the NBA, which he is, his name is Bronny James, then just like any other player, Stephen A or anybody else who covers the NBA or sport can have an opinion about your son. To go up to Stephen A to quote unquote check this man about talking about your son, which basically means doing his job, is absolutely ridiculous. And for those of you who are defending this, are only doing so because you feel like you owe LeBron something, or there's some kind of player code to this that, oh, if I was a dad and I'm a no, you could defend your son in a position in which he needs your defending. This is not one of them. Again, he's an NBA player. He is not above criticism, nor is he above praise. But you're okay when they praise him, but you're not okay when they criticize him. Ladies and gentlemen, Bronny James is averaging 1 point in the NBA. To set the record straight, I am not one of these people who say Bronny James shouldn't be in the G League. Would he have gotten drafted if he wasn't LeBron's son? No, he wouldn't have. Do I care? No, I don't. I don't care. I'm cool with LeBron getting his son in the NBA. He should. After everything that LeBron has done for the NBA, that's the least they can do for him. I'm okay with them signing him to an $8 million contract. That typically doesn't happen for the 55th pick in the draft. But again, for as much money as LeBron has made in the NBA, I'm good with it. But since he's here, and since he is a player, we are allowed to criticize Bronny James or to praise Bronny James, whichever one. Now, again, Bronny James is averaging 1 point a game, ladies and gentlemen, in the NBA. Now, when you look at his G League stats, some will say 20, some will say 13 points a game. I don't even know anymore. Okay, I'm looking up G League stats. I got traditional splits. I got future splits. I got banana splits. I got all kind of splits. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore for the G League stats. I have no idea. But what I do know is that Bronny James is not the best player in the G League. Do you know who the best player in the G League is? Do you? Nope. And I don't either. And you know why I don't? Because nobody gives a damn. So my point is this. Bronny James, people, you cannot have it both ways. Every time Bronny James has a good game in the G League, you tell me about it. You put it on Twitter. You put it on social media. You tell me everything he does when he has a good game. But when he doesn't have a good game, now he's the 55th pick. Now it's, well, what player is the 55th pick has done this or done this or done that? Now we're starting to qualify him being the 55th pick in the draft. Can't have it. Can't do it. You can't have it both ways. If you're going to tell me every time he does something well, if you're going to alert me about it, if you're going to tweet about it, if you're going to send it to my social media, if you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, Bronny James is this every time he has a good game, then guess what? When he doesn't, I get to talk about that too. It comes with the territory. It comes with being a professional athlete. And that's why LeBron was completely out of line. It was completely ridiculous. And to try to sun Stephen A, like, Stephen A not going to do anything, bro. Like, bro, you 6'8", 270, whatever you are. 6'9", 280, I don't know. What is Stephen A going to do to you? He ain't going to fight you. So to try to come up to him and do something like that was a punk move. That was some HOE That's what it was. And you know it was. So for the LeBron to do that, it wasn't professional. It was just some punk stuff. Here you know what for that. It ain't cool. Your son is in the NBA. He's in the NBA. He's going to get criticized. Stephen A's point was that you put him there and you put him in the limelight when, you know what, let him grow and become an NBA player. He can be an NBA player. He might be a good NBA player. I always say, listen, if Gary Payton II can make it to the NBA, so can Bronny. If Scottie Pippen's son can make it to the NBA, so can Bronny. Like, they all can grow. But you keep putting him in the limelight, LeBron. You keep putting everything in front of him. You're the one who said he was better than all these NBA players. Guess what? He's not. Not right now. Maybe he will be, but he ain't right now. But you told us he was right now. And then you want to tell me, and listen, I hate to bring up the health situation because that's a real situation. It really is. It's a real situation. But LeBron told us that knowing his health situation. And guess what? He's not. And that's okay. Let Bronny grow. Let him develop in the G League. Let him be the best player in the G League or top 5 or top 10, whatever that may be. Because I don't know who any of those guys are. I have no idea who the top 10 guys are in the G League. I just know they're not Bronny James. I know that, but I don't know who they are because y'all never tell me about that guy. Y'all never tweet his stats. The leading scorer in the G League, the top 5 leading scorers in the G League, I have no idea who those guys are. I have no idea where they were picked. I have no idea what their contract situation is. Nothing at all because you never told me about it. So don't sit up here and tell me every time you talk about the 55th pick in the G League and you tell me every time he has a great game, and then when he doesn't, I get to tell you, well, no, actually, he isn't what you said he is. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. You can't have it both ways. And see, that's our issue with today and how we handle everything. We want all the praise. We want everything to come to us. But the second somebody says something negative to us, blocked. I don't want to talk to you anymore. No, I ain't trying to hear that. The second something happens good, oh, here I come again. Here I come. Oh, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this? The reality of the situation is this. When you become a professional athlete, okay, you are welcome to everything that a professional athlete and what comes with being a professional athlete. And that's the money, that's the fame, it's the women, and guess what? It's the criticism, but it's also the praise. So you can't just hang around when they're praising you. The criticism comes with it. It comes with the job. It's part of the description. And if Bronny James is what you said he is, LeBron, your son, if he's what you say he is, okay, and you put him in a situation to be a professional athlete, he has to deal with what is being a professional athlete is. He has to deal with that. He has to deal with that. And with that comes criticism, especially if you're not playing well. And especially if your daddy told us you were something that you're not right now. LeVar Ball had to deal with this. They were coming after Lonzo. And Lonzo's a lot better player than Bronny James was coming out of college. And guess what? LeVar didn't even play. He didn't even play basketball. He don't play in the NBA. But he told everybody his son was this. And guess what? They came for him. They came for him. And LeVar didn't say, you know what? Don't talk about my son. No, he said my son can handle it. He's a professional athlete. I built him for this. He'll handle it. He'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll put the pressure on him. He's going to have to deal with it. Okay? And LeVar didn't even play in the NBA. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. But what I'm saying is it comes to being a professional athlete. And LeBron was straight wrong. Straight wrong. Now, everybody can sit here and tell you, oh, well, Stephen A told you if you got something to say to pull up on him. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that. That doesn't make what LeBron did is right. That don't make it right. Because he pulled up on him from some you know what? For doing his job. You pulled up on me for doing my job. For analyzing sports. That's what I do for a living. I analyze sports. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You don't have to be able to play sports to know if somebody sucks or if they're good. You don't. I'm sorry. Sometimes you could just look with your own 2 eyes and be like, you know what? That dude's not very good. And you know what? That dude is very good. Sometimes it's that easy. Now, again, we're not here to put a tombstone on Bronny James' career. We have no idea. Bronny could end up being a great NBA player. He end up being an all-star. Who knows? I have no idea. But right now, if he plays in the NBA, if he plays in an NBA game, and he comes up to the NBA, we are allowed to criticize him. He is an NBA player. That's what comes with being a professional athlete. That's what it comes with. You are a professional, $8 million contract. That means, Daddy, sit your you-know-what down. Sit down. Sit down and sit back. Your son is allowed to get criticized because once they praise Bronny, if Bronny ends up being a very good player, once they praise him, I guarantee you LeBron will not roll up on anybody and say, don't talk about my son. I guarantee you that will not happen. Guarantee. Again, you can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. So all those people who are over here trying to come to LeBron, my son this, my son that, this is not AAU. Okay? This is not grade school basketball. This is not high school basketball. This is the NBA. Professional athletes. That's what it is. If your son is not performing, he will get criticized. If your son is performing, he will be praised. That's a part of it. He didn't say anything about Bronny's mama. He didn't say anything about Bronny's girlfriend. He didn't talk about the way Bronny dressed. He didn't talk about Bronny's haircut. He didn't talk about Bronny's brother. I don't know if he got some cats and dogs. He didn't talk about them either. Okay? Nothing to do with that. He talked about Bronny's basketball play and what LeBron, the injustice that he felt LeBron was doing for Bronny because Bronny is not ready for the NBA just yet. That is fair criticism. That is real criticism. And it's what comes with being a professional athlete. And LeBron had no business rolling up on Stephen A, trying to sun Stephen A, because he wouldn't have done that if he knew that he was going to get some smoke. Straight up. That's the reality of it. He knew Stephen A wasn't going to do anything because Stephen A couldn't. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't. And he knew that. So that was some you-know-what stuff from LeBron. Straight up. Your son's a pro. If you want to be a pro, this will be in the pros about. I don't see how anybody can see that any other way. Any other way than that. Because if you are, you're lying to yourself. You really are. You're lying to yourself. You know. Well, I had to jump on that. I had to comment on that. Because that really, that you know what me. I was pissed off from that. People should be allowed to do their job. Stephen A is a sports analyst. That's what he does. That's what he does for a living. And your son is a professional. Let him do his job. Just as we're gonna let your son do their job. Stephen A gets criticism for his job. He gets praised for his job. Bronny will get criticism for his job. He will also get praise for his job if he has earned it. And that's how it works. Plain and simple, point blank, period. I'm out of here. We'll catch you on the next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Still Broke Podcast. We out. We catch you on the next one. Peace out.